cash grabs. They surround the entirety of the internet, from TikTok shop promotions to Reddit stories. It probably makes up about 65% of the content on every platform's algorithms at this point. However, I feel like I've found the most egregious cash grab of all time, and that is YouTube gurus. If you've ever wanted to get into making content on YouTube, then you've probably seen at least one of these guys, as this type of content dominates searches for how to grow as a YouTuber. Personally, I've seen a lot of them, and recently I think I'm getting more disturbed at what I'm finding. But just before we get into all of that, let me quickly explain what a YouTube guru is for the 5% of you that are watching this video that have no idea what they are. And trust me, I'm jealous. A YouTube guru is a creator that pumps out content about how to make content, as well as how to make it on YouTube. And now I would just like to quickly point out the difference between a YouTube guru and a YouTube advisor, as they are very much two different things. Even though their content is very similar, there are clear differences. YouTube advisors are creators that create their content with the sole purpose of helping you develop as a creative, and as a byproduct of that, it teaches you how to get your videos to perform better. This type of content is incredibly healthy, and not only that, it's incredibly valuable as well, because it not only teaches you how to become a better creator, it also teaches you that the success is just a byproduct of putting out stuff that's actually good. Some good examples of creators that make content like this would be Finzar, Hillier Smith, and Film Booth. All of these people have spent many years on the platform teaching people how to become a better cinematographer, a better editor, and just generally teaching people how to turn your passion into a career. But then on the other side of the coin, we have the YouTube gurus, who are people like Innate Wealth, Money Maxing, and many more. These type of creators' sole purpose for creating their content is to teach you how to make the most amount of money off of your videos. They also try to teach you that in order to be successful on YouTube, you essentially need to make the same copy and paste bullshit content. Now, the reason I take such an issue with these creators doing what they're doing is because they're doing it literally just to line their own pockets. Now, that would be fine if their advice was actually meaningful in any way, or, you know, useful. And to be entirely honest, I have to say that it isn't. Recently, I saw a video by Money Maxing that actually quite annoyed me. And the main reason that it annoyed me was because he promoted the usage of AI to make your content for you. The platform is already inundated with a bunch of faceless slop content that literally just regurgitates information like a machine, and it adds no originality or personality to the videos. And it really bothers me that we have a whole horde of creators that are not only recommending this content, but also recommending people to make this content. The fact that people who are interested in researching how to get into content creation are met with this type of content really does bother me. All of these videos and all of these people really do just recommend making soulless, meaningless content that's just a complete cash grab. And it's all for the sole purpose of getting views, getting attention, and making as much money as possible, which really isn't what this is all about. I also do genuinely want to say that if you're getting into all of this just to be an internet celebrity, one, get a grip of yourself, because the odds are it's not going to happen, but also you genuinely will not last 5 minutes on this platform for it. A lot of people have been recently talking about how much this can actually be, because as much as it's easy to sit down and make these videos, there's also a whole other side to it that really is difficult to deal with sometimes. And even people who have been successful and have been doing this for years are now retiring, so I think that says a lot about your odds. I know from my own personal experience that starting to make content is incredibly difficult, and it's a very daunting task. And unfortunately, there is a bit of a game that you do need to play with the algorithm now, simply because of just how YouTube has evolved, but it doesn't mean that in order to get successful, you have to play the game and completely sell out. You can genuinely make whatever you want on this platform, but you do also need to know how to play the game a little bit in order to see any real growth of it. It's a really fine line, but what these people are promoting is just completely selling out, making meaningless slop in order to line your pocket. I think a perfect example of how to play the game a bit while also still making what you want to is commentary channels. I've been around the commentary scene for quite a while, not as much as a creator, but more as a viewer. And obviously I'm not unaware that the thing that grows channels the fastest in this niche is spreading hate, fueling fires, jumping on bandwagons. You need to be constantly uploading, you need to be one of the first to talk on a matter. That is just part of the game. But there are ways of creating exposés that aren't just like, oh, this person did this, they're bad, cancel them. There's ways of going about that content that can actually be really meaningful, and if you want to get into it for that, there is a place for it on this platform. Or even if you want to get into reaction commentary, it doesn't just need to be you watching TikToks of outrageous people and then slagging them for like a half an hour. Obviously that is what does well on the platform, but so does also just poking fun at a situation without really being too cruel or having to say things that you don't believe just to kind of rage bait people and engagement farm, the types of channels that don't do that can also get really successful. It does really just take a bit longer. But the thing is as well, if you want to do this as a career, going that longer route will actually benefit you more in the long run. And it's simply because you'll be growing an audience of people who just want to watch your videos for you and not anything else. And isn't that really what this entire platform has been about the whole time? Some of the biggest creators that are still on this platform making content for millions to enjoy, they didn't get in the position that they are by engagement farming or doing this, that, or the other, or using this simple proven strategy. They did it just by being themselves and being entertaining. These YouTube gurus are trying to boil down content creation into this simple formulaic thing, which of course there are elements of that, but it also isn't the entirety. You cannot boil down the process of making a good video into a formula, because what you lose in the process is the entire draw of it in the first place, and that is the people. That's the passion that you can see, that's the entertainment that's there. You can't copy and paste that. You can take an idea and spin it into your own and make it your own with your own brand and your own personality, but you can't just rinse and repeat, which unfortunately we are seeing a lot of these days. What I think some people may need to realize or may need to hear is that the people that are giving you these strategies and all of this, they're playing you. Most of them really don't care. They are just keeping you on a hook so you keep coming back to their videos and keep lining their pockets and keep buying their courses. But also their advice isn't really going to work for much longer. I've started to notice with YouTube audiences that there's a little bit of a bounce back from what we have now to what we had. People seem to be getting bored of the endless, emotionless content that's copy and paste, the challenges, all this, that, and the other, because it's been done to death now. Everyone is just copying off each other and no one really has anything original to say. So if you genuinely do want to get into content creation, then just be yourself. All of these YouTube gurus are just spewing absolute horseshit and showing you flashy results. But the truth is, even if you followed their strategies to a T, the odds are you still aren't going to make it because you're competing with other people that are doing the exact same thing as you. Some of the strategies can be useful, but you need to be able to apply them in a way that also still leaves room for you to be a person on the camera. You don't want people to purely watch you just for talking about certain things. You want them to watch you for you, to see your passion in what you create. And yes, of course, people are going to come into your videos for the sole reason that you're talking about one subject or another, but you want to give them an experience that makes them want to stay because they enjoy watching you. And I do know that I'm bashing this over the head again and it feels like I'm repeating myself and I'm talking in a loop. That's because I am. That is the only real way to do anything on this platform. And I'm kind of getting sick and tired of people saying that there's another way to do it, or you can do this, you can do that, because realistically, that's not gonna last. It's not just about having people enjoy your content either. If you follow what these people are recommending, which is creating just copy-paste horseshit, you will get burnt out. You need to be able to enjoy what you are making and love the process of making it. That is seriously the most genuine piece of advice I can give to anybody that wants to start out in this. Enjoy what you do, otherwise you will quit. However, if the results start to fade away but you still genuinely enjoy what you do, congratulations. Eventually you're gonna see the results come back. Do not rush the process of growing a channel. If you follow these people's advice and try your hardest to sprint to the end goal of how many subscribers you want or how many views you want, congratulations. You're just another clone on the platform. You may hit it once, you may see it for a few months or a year or two, but it will go away. But if you genuinely are interested in doing this as your career or as a hobby or anything, if you are interested in getting into this for the right reasons, but if you are getting into this because you have a passion and you want to share what you create and you genuinely want to make stuff that's good, whether people see your stuff or not is determined by an algorithm, and you need to be able to heighten your chances of it picking it up. But don't listen to these idiots. The best way to learn that stuff, and the way I learned to do that stuff, is by watching Colin and Samir. Their podcast has literally hundreds of interviews with people who made it, and they share how they made their packaging, how they play the game a little bit, but also how they still retain their passion for creating by making stuff that they genuinely love making. Or let's say you want to learn editing and growing your skills in that aspect. Watch Hayden Hillier-Smith as well as Finzar. Finzar is an incredibly good resource to learn that kind of traditional YouTube editing style. However, if you want to lean more into story making content or even if you want to start adding some storytelling aspects into your videos, then take a look at Hayden Hillier-Smith. When I was learning how to edit, his videos that kind of break down editing theories and apply them to the internet kind of editing style, they were really valuable. But also, in addition to this, he has a fantastic podcast called The Editing Podcast, where he interviews award-winning editors and they kind of teach the Hollywood secrets a little bit. It's genuinely quite fascinating, so if you do like editing, seriously check it out. I am not paid to say this either. I fucking wish I was, because God knows rent's due. Yeah, that's all I really kind of had to say. These creators genuinely make me so angry, and I just thought that I'd come on here and spew out about it for a little bit. If you have enjoyed this little rant, then please do subscribe and turn on notifications, as I'm going to be posting a lot more going into 2026. But if you have seen me around before, then please do let me know what you think of this new kind of content. I genuinely quite enjoyed working on this video, so I'd be quite appreciative if you let me know. But yeah, thank you very much for your time and have a lovely rest of your day. Okay, bye.